Hey guys, I wanted to do just a really quick video about again these relays. Now I use FOTEK relays. I use eBay, Amazon microinverters, and both of these tend to be problematic, unreliable components, and that's they're cheap, and you do get what you pay for, but that's one of the things that kind of messes with you every now and then. If you do mess with some inexpensive stuff, you will, if you encounter a problem, you'll tend to automatically say, well, it's this thing by default. And like an issue that I've been having is I thought that one of these inverters was backfeeding and holding one of these relays open or closed, I guess technically, and leaving it active all the time somehow. I didn't really understand how that worked, but because they're cheap, crummy inverters and cheap, crummy relays, I was sure that was what was going on. Well, I actually fished around a lot until I found somebody who worked with the manufacturer of these things, and at that point, I wasn't even exploring the options as to what was going on there. I just happened to mention my problem to him, and he said, "Yeah, they're supposed to have voltage going back." Didn't even think to check. I came and I checked all of these. They all have 4 to 6 volts DC, reading off the terminals, going back the other way. So as it turns out, that inverter was working just the way it was. The only issue that was different was that I had it on this solid state relay. Now these, I'm honestly not sure how I'm supposed to pronounce it. It is OMQ or OMKQN. I always call them OnCon. But somebody in one of the Facebook groups suggested these things. Said they're really good relays. This relay cost, about 3 times as much as those did. But I was burning up a lot of these things, so I thought I'd try something else just to see if that alleviated the problem. And it did seem like they worked better, but in the end, that particular issue, it didn't manifest in any other format because the way I was running the system at the time didn't allow it to. But after I started isolating everything and stopped trying to run my batteries down as a zero loss, it became evident. I've got a pile of these things, and each one of them reads. It's not a dead short, but it doesn't fully open the circuit whenever it doesn't have signal. And I don't know if that's just a property of this particular relay. But that's what's happening. I can't actually find any specs on this relay. Again, I bought them, on somebody else's recommendation. After taking this out and putting, because I had 2 of these and they were both leaving these 2 inverters here, active all the time. After taking these 2 out and replacing them with those things, with the cheap, unreliable FOTEKs, my problem went away. And everything is like right now we have no wind, and I even had the brakes on up there, and no output. Before, with these things on and the system off, it was still pulling, trying to pull 150 watts off of my batteries. So sometimes, even if it is a cheap equipment, it is just a reminder. Don't assume. Just go ahead and check it, just to make sure, because this turned out to be a fairly inexpensive fix, and I took care of it. I can say that one of the things that I did notice because I've since making the last video talking about how these things are awful. A lot of the people talked about running them on 48 volt circuits with these switches down here, and that's something to keep in mind. Even the more expensive switches that come from windmillparts.com, or no, wind turbine, not windmill parts. Oh. Like these ones, these come from windturbinusa.com. Even these things, they put out battery voltage. The line voltage goes right back out to your relay. So if you're running them on a 48 volt circuit, you're hitting these relays with 48 volts, turning them on and off. If you go over this 32 volts, it will burn out the switching diode or mechanism. I don't really know what. I don't know what the internals are called. I just know it breaks it. So never go over that 32 volts. That's actually one of the reasons why I'm running this on, 24 volts. I hate those menus. Anyway, that's that. Again, just a reminder, double check everything. Even if you know what the problem is, double check it. Save you some money and some time and some headache like I went through trying to deal with this. So, have a nice day, guys.